What's going on, YouTube? Today I want to talk to you about some people just don't have a heart space to give back. So you might be a kind individual. You might be a giver of life. What I mean by that, you might get a shirt off your back to people, right? Um, some individuals see that as weakness. And that could be for various reasons. That could be learned behavior. They learned it from others. And they think that's the way of the world. Or that could be a protective mechanism for them. So you got to recognize one thing: when you can't go around in life with your guards up as if everyone's going to be this way, because that's not the case. It's just having that discernment when you're in front of someone or that situation. And you can't always see it immediately. Sometimes it takes time. Some people are clever out here. They're real clever. They've done it over and over again. They know how to play on people's emotions and their psychology. So you do have to be aware of that. But the point I'm trying to make with this, you could be one of those type of individuals that think you can change people. And you come to find out through a lot of adversity and stress, there's nothing you can do for them, because if they don't want to change themselves for their own well-being, then they don't want to change. And I know that's a tough pill to swallow, especially like you got people close to you care about. What do you do in a situation like that? Well, if there's an immediate attachment, when I say like a family member, let's say you live with someone, let's say they're a sibling, a parent, somebody close like that, your child, your spouse, you're going to have to weather that storm. I know that sounds difficult. I know it sounds easier than done, but eventually you're going to have to make a decision though. What do I mean by that? That situation won't last forever. So when it comes to like relatives, eventually we grow apart and begin our own lives. So at that point, you just got to let people be. And you can love them from a distance. A spouse, you got to make that decision. Why did you choose that person in the first place? Is this a tough moment for them? Or is this a personality trait or a core value issue this person has? Now that's you doing some self-inventory on why you chose that situation in the first place. Then you got to make a decision whether to stay or go. With your child, we're here to teach kids to be responsible and implant characteristics inside of them so they grow up to be responsible adults. That's the ideal goal for your children. You would think most parents would think like that. Some don't understand that. Some do. Eventually, when this child becomes an adult, they can think for themselves At that point, you're just going to have to love them from a distance, especially if they want to get their shit together. So, when it comes to people not having the heart space to give, this really applies in maybe parent to child, friendships, and relationships. You never know what, before that person became a parent, what they went through with their parents. And maybe they weren't taught those things. They don't have the heart space to give, man. They can provide, they can't give anything else. Friendships, same thing. Friendships are one-sided. Your friend is all about themselves. They can care less about what you got going on. As long as it benefits them, they don't care about your happiness. Your spouse. Your spouse can play into the same situation as a friendship. They don't want to give anything. They don't want to put any effort into the relationship. They just want to be there and see what they can get out of it. And they don't see anything wrong with it. Now, with all of these situations, you could have that conversation with that person. That's where it starts. And that might be the beginning of something great. Or the ending of something that would cause a lot of chaos. Eventually, not only in their life, but yours as well. So be mindful of the people you extend your heart, an open invitation to growth, awareness. Sometimes they just don't want it. Sometimes they just don't have it in them to give back. And when you recognize that, you know where you stand. And it's not about just leaving that person where they're at. You can always love them from a distance if you care about them that much. Or even a total stranger. But the main goal you got to realize is you only got one life to live. And it might hurt. And you might feel like you can help everybody. And that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. Especially if they consider themselves healers. They think they can heal everybody. And a lot of times you just got to pay attention to their words, their actions, and the energy they give off in your presence. And then you got to make a decision. So the point of this video is just to let you guys know out here, YouTube, you're going to run across these kind of people. And you might feel like you're doing something wrong. And it might be confusing. But pull back, take a deep breath, and evaluate the situation. And look at it for what it is. And the key here is don't waste a lot of your time. Not only will it drain you, distract you, keep you from moving forward, it'll keep you in a place of depression. And that's when you need to move away. So YouTube, that's all I got for you. And I'll see you in the next one.